guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it has been long, lakini I've been tied up hapa na pale, but sijali. So today we are going to talk about a topic that I guess kila msee ashaipitia, and today we are going to talk about the God who sees. Yeah, the God who sees, and we are drawing that from Genesis chapter 16 verse sorry guys verse 13, and it says, "She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her, 'You're the God who sees me.' For she said, 'I have now seen the one who sees me.'" That is why the well was called El-Roi. It's still there between Kadesh and Bered. So this happened when it's a story when you read in chapter 16 about Hagar and Ishmael. So God had promised Abraham and Sarah that he would give them a son, but Sarah, being the impatient lady that she was, she decided, hapa wacha tusaidie God and give ourselves a son that he promised us, and Sarah will be parents like he promised us. And then she takes her maid Hagar to go and sleep with her husband to get the son that they were promised by God. But then after a while, definitely ukipata pregnant na yo siku hizi wanaitwa the goat hajapata the pregnancy, definitely she will be mocked. And she decided, what, hapa nitacheza kama mimi, I will mistreat her till she runs away, because sitaki kumwambia nataka kumfukuza. What I will do is I will mistreat her. And what do you do when you're not the person who forced yourself to the husband? Definitely you are there to help them, and then things turn around and you are mistreated and you have to run away. What happens when you've enjoyed this good life, you have gone there to be a servant or a helper, and then all of a sudden ni wewe uko na shida, like, we don't want you anymore, we don't want your services, we hate you. And I guess she was passing through a season which also Joseph was passing through. I mean, for him talking to his brothers, he was like, yeah, these are my brothers, I can tell them my dreams. Definitely ulikuwa na kitu you share with your brothers and your sisters. And then all of a sudden umewapelekea food and they are like, huyu alali leo, and they sell you to Egypt. What do you do in such a season when you thought the people that are close to you are close, and then all of a sudden they betray you? What happens if the situation that you're passing through, it's not your fault, it is fault of someone else, but you have to pay the price? And Jesus and God speaks to God speaks to Hagar in the previous verses, from verse 11 till 13, and he tells her that she should go back and he will bless Ishmael just like he will bless Isaac. And the angel gave her a name and all these things that he will do through him, and that is the promise that she held on when she was going back. Just like when the Israelites came out of Egypt, they didn't know, definitely walikuwa najua they are going to the promised land, but hawakuwa najua zile shida watapitia zote, like they have to pass through the desert, they have to eat manna, which even they didn't know what it was. But through all this, they held on to the promise that God gave them, that I will protect you with the fire and I will lead you with it through, the day, the night, and during the day there will be a pillar of cloud to represent my, what is it called, my presence, that I will always be there with you. And the same goes to Joseph. Every time we read the story of Joseph, we usually hear that, and the Lord was with Joseph, and the Lord was with Joseph. So one thing that we should do when we're in that season, that it's not our fault but we are in it, as in sisi tulijilazimisha. It's not your fault that you're out of your job. It was corona, but definitely corona itakuwa out of job, it's doing its work. But what do you do in that season? You hold on to the promise that the Lord gave you, that I will never leave you nor forsake you, and that I am the God who sees. And definitely in every season is Jireh who provides, because kwa kila season analetanga someone, either it's a person, an angel, is Holy Spirit, to comfort you. For Ruth, when she had gone from Moab and followed Naomi to Israel, and they didn't know what they were going to eat, they were definitely widows and they had to start from zero. God sent Boaz to them. When the paralyzed man was at the well, the shaking well, and kila time sana kuja anarushwa mbele yake for 38 years. I mean, ningekuwa hapo for 38 years, ningekuwa okay, you know what, I'm done with this thing, let us wait for Jesus. Kama kukufa tukufa mapema. But definitely God sent Jesus to him right there to to heal him. For Leah, it is God who had to heal his wounds. Definitely for her, she was so much invested in earning her husband's love, lakini Jacob alikuwa yule msee anakufa na Rachel. So it was not even her fault that she even got married to Jacob. It was her father's fault. But God had to come and heal her wound and tell her, you don't have to name your seasons and name your babies out of the season that you're in. You can rejoice in who I am, because you are whole and full and loved by me. And that is what we should do. In every season, remember what God has promised you. Secondly, know that God will not leave you alone. He will definitely send someone. He will either come by himself, he will either send the Holy Spirit. I mean, he has so many ways to heal your wound and to be there together with you. For the Israelites, it was the fire and the cloud. For Jesus, it was the angel when he was crying in the Garden of Gethsemane and telling God, like, take this cup away from me. But he held on to the promise. He held on to the fact that I know you're there with me and I will not despair. So that is what we should remember, that God sees us. He is omnipotent, omniscient, and all the wonderful words that we have ever called him. So, and he has always reminded us that he is I am in our life. So if you want him to be healer, you will say, I am healer. I am that I am to you. Whatever you need, he becomes that. And also the third thing is you should forgive and allow God to heal your wounds. Because when God was healing the crippled man at the well in John 5, he asked him, do you want to be healed? But for you to be healed is you have to stop excuses. Don't be like the man at the well in John 5 and be like, so I've been here 38 years, then can't I forgive our sin? No, he forgave and let go. If Joseph would have sat in all the seats that life had given him of betrayal, of unforgiveness, I mean, utterly blame you for a thing that he had not done by Potiphar's wife. The friend that he had interpreted a dream for forgot him. I mean, someone promises you and forgets, and it's like, sort your life, I'm good, you can do whatever you want to do. But they forgave them. For Leah to exist with Jacob, definitely she had to forgive him. She had to let go of the pain and be like, I'm satisfied in the season that I am in. Whether you love Rachel or not, I know I am loved by God. So let go, forgive them, you will have a lot of peace. And the Bible tells us that Jesus said that Jesus the Bible says that the peace that he gives us, the peace of mind that the world cannot give. So if you cannot let go and allow him to heal you, definitely utakaa bila peace of mind. And you know, when the mind is troubled, your heart will be troubled too, and your whole system. No wonder you will start having panic attacks and all these things. Then also the other thing is, after you get you remember God's promises and hold on to them. Remember that he will not leave you alone. He sees you and he will send someone, or he will be there with you through that challenge, and you've forgiven them. The other thing is, don't forget to carry your mat. All the times that God healed or Jesus healed someone, he will tell them, take your mat and go. Because the mat represented the testimony. Don't be like, oh, I was healed and I cannot. Share it with someone outside there, because it could be an encouragement. Imagine Kina Ruth or the people in the Bible had decided they are not going to share their testimony. If Haggai had not written this, had not allowed this testimony to be shared out, we would not have known that she had passed through a season that she had even to run away from. For I think that was not even our own problem, but because they decided to share that testimony with us, that's why we can resonate with it, we can identify with it, and remember that God can heal. Your mat is a testimony, and it is what represents Christ to the lost and the found. So remember that is all I wanted to share with you today, guys. So thank you so much. I hope you're blessed. Kama kawaida, subscribe, share, and if this is your first time, karibu sana, and I hope you will come back once again. Shalom, shalom.